Gussie, what's she doing? What up with the big dog? Gussie, what up with the big dog? Little bitter. Hey, you guys. Do you, hey, Gussie. Gussie, why'd you eat all the friggin' tortilla chips last night? Gus? Hey, garbage can Gussie. Gussie, the garbage can Phillips. Gussie has never met any food that he doesn't like to eat. This dude eats chips and guacamole, man. It wouldn't be for most dogs. And he loves his veggies. Gus, what you doing, man? He's a beautiful doggy. Yeah, he's beautiful, man. Come here, Gus. Hey, come here, you. Come here, you. They're going. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday again. I love it. Yeah. Man, I had a good dinner last night at about 8 o'clock, and I wanted to get home for the Trump town hall meeting full of these sycophants. Yeah, some of the stuff they were applauding for is just downright scary, you know. I don't get them. I just don't get them. They're a different breed. But let me flip this around again. Sorry, guys. Oh, Jackson. Anyways, I got my boiler technician shirt on, which isn't really, that's not the symbol for boiler technicians in the Navy. It's actually a steam engine. But it's a cool t-shirt. It's comfortable and keeps the mosquitoes off of me. I've got some repairs I need to do on my screen to keep the bugs out, but even with that, with these dogs, man, it's just a constant battle of keeping things clean, and they're a challenge. But anyways, I had a great salad last night. Greek salad with grilled breast of chicken, and it's huge, man. Only $14, and it's a great meal, man. I couldn't buy the stuff to make that salad for $14, so it was really nice. They've got hard-boiled eggs in it, Kalamata olives, cucumber, peppers, onions, red onion. It's just a delicious salad. It's got a mixture of romaine lettuce and iceberg lettuce, so it's nutritious. There's a lot of protein between the eggs and the chicken. It's really a good thing to eat, you know. And I went in last night. Unfortunately, one of the waitresses in this restaurant was killed in a car accident. She was only 18 years old, and that kind of shit really affects kids. There was a girl, she works there too. She's a waitress, and they were best friends. And to lose your best friend early in life is very, very hard, man. It happened to me. I think I was 18 or 19, and my best friend got killed. And that was after losing my brother a few years prior. And it just tears you apart, man. But so I went in there, and I went up after I got my food, paid for it. I found that waitress, and I gave her one of those comfort crosses, and I talked to her. I said, I want to give you this in memory of your friend. And I explained what the cross is, where it comes from, and I could see the tears welling up in her eyes, and I know she's hurting, man. It's very, very hard thing. You don't ever get over it. I think about my best friend, man. This is got to be 40 years later, man. 40 years ago that happened, and I think about him. I dream about. Sometimes, man, I have dreams, and I'm hanging out with him all night. And my brother too, man. And people, who think about dreams and they do dream work, they say that that's their spirit visiting you. And honestly, man, I like hang out with my brother and my best friend, man, like all night in a dream. We're just hanging out for hours, and I always feel good when that happens. But the dreams are weird, man. It's like, why did you... I always have that question, like, why did you leave, If you're here now, why did you leave for so long? And it's kind of strange. Dream work is some pretty cool stuff, to get into what you're dreaming about and what it means. Anyways, it's another beautiful day. It's nice and... probably, I would say 68, 70 degrees today. This morning. I don't have a thermometer out here on my lanai anymore. I put it out in front of my house. But, yeah, it's getting, May is tarpon season. It's getting warm. The water's getting warm. The tarpons show up. They are migratory fish. They come up from the south, and they like warm water, man. So they're not around when the water's cold. And as the water warms, going north, they migrate more towards the north, and then they'll do the same thing. They come back in the at the end of the season, which is around August or September, I guess. They migrate back, but around July and August, we stop fishing for tarpon here. But man, they're a lot of fun. Big fish. You could hook into over 200-pound fish, man, literally right off the beach. So they're fun, and I used to fish for them all the time. I couldn't wait from May 1st. And Gussie, what you eating, man? He's like, I don't know, I'm just having a stick for breakfast. I'm just having a stick. That's what doggies do. They make a big fucking mess, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Here comes a loud car. I'm gonna write a letter to the newspaper, man. I've written letters to the newspaper. I've probably had close to 20 letters published in the Sarasota Herald Tribune on many issues. And I like the fact that they read my letter, and it my point of view is not extreme. It's not crazy. It's reasoned, and on many subjects, and it just makes when they publish that, they get a lot of letters. A lot of them are crazy. You gotta finesse a letter to the editor to actually get them to publish it. You know what I mean? You gotta walk a fine line between, just telling them the way you feel. That would never get in there, but you gotta finesse it, man. And so I enjoy that, but I really need to write a letter about the noise pollution in Sarasota in the last few years. It's just gotten ridiculous, man. I see big trucks, huge trucks going by my house, and they are quieter than a fucking guy driving a Chevy pickup truck. Because these guys like noise. They're on motorcycles, they're on in these little foreign cars. You know, they're race cars, and on a Saturday morning, man, it's just fucking unbelievable. I shouldn't have to listen when I'm sitting on my lanai. I shouldn't have to listen to some idiot on a motorcycle, on a crotch rocket, screaming down the street a mile and a half away from my house, man. I just wish, I'd be interested to, I'd like the newspaper to actually do a study, because I'm going to tell you, man, it's unfortunate. I was at Detweiler's, that farm market, and there was a police officer. He looked like he'd been on the force he wasn't a youngin', he wasn't a rookie. He said he was on the SWAT team, and I went up to him. I said, hey bud, I got a question. I said, is there anything we can do about noise in this town, like the sound of cars and all that? And he immediately went to, well, we have an ordinance, where if you can hear something 25 feet from the car. And basically what he was saying is, this ordinance is designed to shut down the black kids from playing loud music, or anybody playing loud music, but mainly it's an attempt to shut down the loud music, which every once in a while a car will go by here with some serious bass, and it shakes the windows, but it's minimal. I can tell you that there are hundreds of cars a day that come by my house that are so fucking loud and disturbing. I mean, it scares the living shit out of you, man. But it's unfortunately, that's an area that, maybe they just let that ride, because, if it was a black kid, they'll probably pull him over for loud music. But a guy could go by there with this fucking earth-shattering sound coming out of his pickup truck, and they just let him go. So it's disturbing to me, the double standard, and the fact that this cop immediately thought I was talking about loud music, and that's not what I was talking about. He kind of showed me his hand when he said that. So it's a little disturbing that that's what they're thinking. But I'd love to look into the facts, like how many tickets have you written in Sarasota County for reckless driving? How many tickets have you written for loud noise, like mufflers, and give people warnings to get those mufflers replaced? Down here in Sarasota and in Florida, I think in general, you don't have to get your car inspected. Up in Rhode Island, you had to get your car inspected every year. And there were things that you had to have on there, like the emissions control. You had to have a muffler on the car. You couldn't get an inspection sticker unless you knew somebody on the black market, that's what I always did. For $10 you could get a ticket. I mean a sticker. But I'm just saying, man, I was young, and I used to have race cars and make a lot of noise too, but I'm just over it. And unfortunately, the consequence of all this high-speed racing is you drive around Sarasota now, and you see all these memorials where somebody lost their life, mostly young kids. So that would be one statistic that I'd be interested in seeing. How many kids under 30, say, have lost their lives in automobile accidents, motorcycle accidents? I just see these memorials everywhere in this town, and it's concerning to me. So I may take the time to write a letter. Once I start writing a letter, it gets long, and I'm not very good at writing and grammar, but it's not the grammar. It's not where I put an apostrophe or a period or an exclamation point. It's the thought. And at the Sarasota Herald Tribune, I got a call from the editor And he said, listen, I just want to know if we have your permission to, like, clean this up. Like, my mom used to be a proofreader, you know? She could read something and she'd fix it, she'd jazz it up so that it was correct. When I write something, it's just terrible. It looks like a 10-year-old wrote it, but it's not how I write it. It's the thought. And so they clean up my writings, and I save them all. I have a whole thing. Someday maybe I'll do a thing where I read some of my letters to the editor that got published, and it's on all kinds of stuff. I have a voice, and I can assess things, and I think that, you know, writing a letter to the editor is like having a seat at the table. You can express your point of view and come to some sort of a consensus on what needs to be done. But the noise here in Sarasota is terrible. It startles the shit out of you. Well, hey, Gussie, stop it. Gussie, that's your friend, man. That's your friend. Hey, he doesn't shut up as well as Bella when I tell him. Look at him. Back's all up. The only thing holding back this beast is a mosquito screen. I gotta get that fixed before he dives out of the lanai outside and chases somebody's poodle down. I don't know where I was going here. I lost my train of thought, if you can imagine that. No, I was saying that the noise is startling, man. I mean, it's just... And I'll give you a perfect example how this shit ended up right here at my doorstep. One Sunday night I was sitting here, and I had the sliders open, and I hear this fucking god-awful noise. I mean, it scared the living shit out of me, man. It was loud right outside my house. So I get up and I run to the other living room, and I look out the slider, and I'm like, why can I see Proctor Road now? Why am I able to look from here right out across Proctor Road? It's because some fucking idiot lost control of his big-ass truck and took out 10 sections of my fence, man. And not only did he take out 10 sections of my fence, he snapped off a fucking telephone pole right at the bottom, a wood telephone pole. He snapped it off where it comes through the sidewalk. And he not only did that, he continued on, and he fucking ended up into a huge oak tree in my neighbor's yard. So I know this is a bad accident, man. I run out there, my fucking adrenaline's running, I'm nervous, I'm scared. I'm thinking people are dead, you know what I mean? I'm trying to want to render some help. And I run out there fucking barefoot. I step on a big-ass nail, rusty nail from my fence. And my foot's bleeding. I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And I run up to the truck, and all the doors are open, and everybody's fucking gone. They all took off running, man. And there's dog shit all over the inside of it. There were 3 people in the truck. They had a dog with them, and the dog, when that shit happened, the dog shit all over the inside of the truck. But they all survived, but they did take off. And the cops found the guy. The truck was registered to him. They were drunk. But I thought when I didn't see anybody in the truck, I'm like looking in my neighbor's swimming pool to see if somebody went through a windshield and ended up in the pool. But after all of that shit happened, I come back and I review, because I have cameras on my house, man. I go back and I look at the cameras, and sure enough, you see all this truck open up, and these people bail out and just start running. A couple of them went into my neighborhood. One went the other way, and it was a big-ass Ford F-350, not a dually, but yeah, it was destroyed, man. The whole front end was wrapped around this fucking oak tree. And so it's alarming. And you'll hear them in my videos, man. You can hear these guys going by the house screaming. But so that's what I was going to talk about this morning. These things are not planned at all. I just sit here and I think, what can I, something will... I'll get a spark, and I just make a video on it. So Anyways, let me know in the comments if you're concerned about loud cars and trucks. I mean, literally, this street, because of the way the lights are set up, it's like a quarter-mile run between the two lights, and it's unfortunately like a fucking drag strip, man. I was in the other night. These guys went by here on motorcycles. They had to be doing 120, 130 miles an hour. I mean, I've been to the track, man. I used to take my Mustang to the drag strip, and I know what these bikes look like and how fast they're going. And these things were fucking wide open, man. Like, it's scary, you know? You're like, is this going to end in a big crash? Anyways, that's going to do it for my rant this morning. Loud trucks and motorcycles and reckless driving and the death of our youth. It's crazy, man. We got to enforce some laws, you know? We got to enforce the shit that's on the books, man. The stuff that are real issues, not this made-up fucking bullshit. You know, these non-issues that are turned, they turn a fucking molehill into a fucking mountain. This is a real issue, man. People are losing kids. This waitress that died was just a beautiful person, man. I mean, I didn't even know her name, but you could tell by her aura, you know, that she was an angel, man. Maybe God needed an angel, I don't know, but I stopped by the crash site in one of my videos, and I put some of those crosses down at that memorial for her, and it's just fucking sad, and I really understand it because I've lost people like from that, you know, and so I'm speaking from experience, not something I think this is what's going on, you know. Anyways, guys, have a great day. It actually is Thursday today. Hopefully the phone will ring. I didn't do much yesterday in the realm of plumbing. I gotta stop taking this Benadryl in the morning because, man, it's messing with my sleep. I'll take these Benadryl, and by like 1, 2 o'clock, man, I'm ready for a fucking 4-hour nap. And then I wake up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and I'm all fucked up. I'm up until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta stop taking them. I gotta find something else for my allergies. But look at my eyes, man. That's not good. Look at how red they are. I don't even smoke pot or do drugs or drink. That's just normal. Wow. Sorry about the close-up. The fucking, for you creeps out there fucking trying to get my retinal scan, I got a little joke for moron, you know, people who hear words and they don't really get them right. So I come into this fucking hotel, I go up, it's on the 6th floor, and the place has, you know, the doors, they have a retinal scan to get into your unit, you know, your apartment. And I come in, and this fucking guy, he's standing on a 5-gallon bucket with his pants fucking pulled down. And he's got his fucking ass right up against where you would put your eye, you know, for a retinal scan. And I'm like, hey, man, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm doing a fucking rectal scan. I'm trying to get in this fucking unit. I'm doing a rectal scan. I was like, dude, it's retinal. Retinal, your fucking eye, not your brown eye, you fucking dumbass. Anyways, have a great day, guys. I'll end on that note.